Hello friends, this video on dual nature of radiation and matter part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 6 before going ahead with part 7. Nobody told that light does not have wave nature. Okay, that is correct. Light has wave nature, but at the same time, there is some particle nature of light as well. So we will see how that particle and wave nature, they took their respective places. For now, we will see who solved this mystery of photoelectric effect. Who could explain the photoelectric effect? It was nobody else than Albert Einstein who came up with a very satisfactory explanation of photoelectric effect and brought back the particle theory of light. So Einstein again proposed particle theory of light. What did he say? He said that radiation. So here, in this entire lesson, wherever we are talking about light, since light is, something which we always talk of. So instead of light here means radiation, because light is also a form of radiation. So he told that radiation consists of discrete units called quantum of energy of radiation with energy h nu each. So he told that the radiation consists of small particles. Those particles are known as photons. And each particle has energy given by h nu, where nu is the frequency and h is Planck's constant. So Einstein worked hard in this field and he derived this. Now, do you think it was very easy for everybody to accept this? That okay, Einstein came and he told that okay, wave theory could not explain, particle theory will be able to explain. So light consists of photons and each of them has energy h nu. Nobody, accepted it as it is. So Einstein had to satisfactorily explain each and every observed experimental behavior of the photoelectric effect. So Einstein gave an equation which is popularly known as the Einstein's photoelectric equation, which was able to satisfactorily explain all the observed behavior of the photoelectric effect. So what was Einstein's photoelectric equation? Einstein told that what happened when radiation falls on the metal plate, that radiation is nothing but a number of photons, each with energy h nu, falling on the electrons. So that photon will interact with the electron. So the electron will actually absorb the photon and it will gain some energy. So if the amount of energy which the electron gains is greater than the work function of the metal, then the electron will escape out. Right? So he said that h nu is the energy which the photon has. This h nu energy is absorbed by the electron, right? So this h nu energy, when absorbed by the electron, is used for two purposes. First, it is used to overcome the work function. Now, if suppose it is greater than the work function, if this h nu is greater than work function, in that case, photoelectric effect will take place. Because if it is lesser than the work function, in that case, photoelectric effect will anyways not take place. Because the work function is more, so the metal will keep the electron with itself. But if this energy of the photon is greater than the work function, then electron emission will take place. Now, when electron gets emitted, the electron will have some velocity, so it will have some kinetic energy. So the remaining part of this h nu will be used for the kinetic energy of the electron. Now, how much kinetic energy the electron will have? What would be the kinetic energy of the electron? So there are different scenarios. The first case is if h nu is lesser than, so the first scenario is h nu is less than the work function. What will happen? No photoelectric effect. What happens if h nu is just equal to the work function? That means the energy of the photon, the electron absorbs the photon and its energy becomes exactly equal to the work function. In that case, what will happen? It will be just able to overcome the work function. So the kinetic energy of the emitted electron will be 0, because there is no more energy left with the electron, right? It is something like this is the total energy which the electron is absorbing. So this is the total energy which it has. For example, let us suppose your mom gave you 10 rupee, gave you a 10 rupee note. Now you go to a shop with those 10 rupees in your hand and you want to buy stuffs, right? Suppose if you buy a notebook worth 10 rupees and after that if you want to buy a pencil, you are not left with any more money. So when you don't have money, you cannot buy a pencil. So similar is the case here. The total energy. So here who is the mother? Her mother is the radiation. And who is the sun? The sun is the electron. So here the mother is the photon. Photon or radiation, whatever you call it. So the sun is taking the 10 rupee note, that is the energy h nu, from the mother. The mother is the photon. So now the sun has this much energy, h nu. So this energy, first the sun has to spend the energy to overcome the work function, because if it is lesser than work function, anyways the electron will not be able to move out at all. It will remain in the middle. So it will first see if h nu is equal to the work function or not. If it is exactly equal to the work function, that means the total energy which the electron had absorbed, entire energy is used up in overcoming the work function. So no more energy is left to be used as kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy is 0. Now, when the h nu is greater than phi naught, in that case photoelectric emission will take place and there will be a kinetic energy also. So what will be the kinetic energy? H nu minus phi naught. So whatever is the difference, that would be the kinetic energy. So that means any electron emission which is taking place, that kinetic energy can vary from 0 to this value. So this is the maximum value of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy cannot have a value greater than this, right? This is the maximum kinetic energy that a photoelectron can have. So we can say this is K max, which is equal to h nu minus phi naught. And this equation, h nu is equal to phi naught plus maximum kinetic energy. This is known as Einstein's photoelectric equation. So I hope you understood how Einstein derived his photoelectric equation. Okay, so now we will see how Einstein was satisfactorily able to explain each and every point that was observed during the experimental study of photoelectric effect. So from this Einstein's equation, what all did we see up till now? We saw that if an electron is very tightly bounded to the metal, in that case the work function will be higher. So that means in that case most of the energy, that is most of this h nu, will be used up in overcoming this work function. Therefore very less energy will be left for it to be used as kinetic energy. Right? So this is basically the concept on which this Einstein's photoelectric equation works. So this is a very, very important equation which will explain the entire photoelectric effect. Just with the help of this one equation, you can explain everything, every observation which you saw in the photoelectric effect experiment. Let us now look at the explanation which Einstein gave to all the experimental facts that were obtained regarding photoelectric effect. The first one was photocurrent is directly proportional to the intensity of incident light. This is what we observed, right? So how did Einstein justify this? Now Einstein said that now my incident light is nothing but photons. So as we increase the intensity of incident light, we are actually increasing the number of photons, right? Now as the number of photons increases, the number of electrons with which the photons interact will also increase. As a result, the number of photoelectrons emitted increases, and number of photoelectrons is which determines the photocurrent, because photocurrent is nothing but number of photoelectrons per unit time. So therefore, as intensity increases, the photocurrent also increases. Saturation current is found to be proportional to the intensity of incident radiation. That is also related. I mean, number 1 and number 2 are related to each other, because saturation current is also nothing but photocurrent. It is the maximum value of photocurrent. So obviously, as you increase the intensity, saturation current also increases, because increasing intensity means increasing the number of photons. Therefore, the number of electrons will also increase. Therefore, the photocurrent increases. And after a certain level, there are no more electrons left to absorb the photons. And as a result, the current becomes constant. And that is what is known as saturation current. There exists a threshold frequency for every metal below which no photoelectric effect takes place. Now let us look at the Einstein's equation. What was Einstein's equation? It was h nu is equal to phi naught plus k max. Right? This is Einstein's equation. So it says that photoelectric effect, under what condition photoelectric effect will take place? Now for photoelectric effect to take place, what is the condition we just discussed in the previous slide? It can take place only when h nu is greater than the work function. So that means now what happens if I say that no, if I say that h nu is less than phi, what will happen in that case?